Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I knew that my recent escalating loadouts video on rockets was going to drum up some interest in this particular blaster, because it is a very cool blaster, but one that many people may not have heard of or have never seen in action. It is, of course, the Meaker Mk28. I've made some modifications to it, but right now it's currently still got the stock spring in it. So I'm going to take it out into the range, and I'm going to test it for range with the stock spring, accuracy, all of that. Then I'm going to come back here, and we're going to throw some K25 in it, take it back out to the range, and see what kind of a difference that has made, and then determine whether I want to put the stock spring back in or keep it with the K25. And then I will go over all of the modifications that I made to my particular file. So here we go. Right, we're here on the range. Now, we are going to be aiming at the center target. I'm not actually worried about hitting the pie pan itself. I'm just interested in getting it inside the frame, so that 2 foot by 6 foot box. If it hits anywhere in there, passes through there, I will consider that a good hit, because if I'm aiming at someone who's got a large shield, that's close enough. We are at 25 feet because that's about the effective range that I would ever be shooting at someone with a shield. So let's take a look. I've got 4 regular stock Nerf rockets, and then I've got 4 of the off-brands. I don't know which ones. They're all just kind of mixed together. So let's see what we get. Oh, a little to the left. I hit right on the pie pan. Oh, a little to the left again. Oh, a little low. That one dropped on me. All right, let's try the off-brand, see if they do any better. I am not impressed. There we go. Nice and straight. I should have brought a Busby rocket. I'll bring one for the upgraded one. That did not come off of there. I wonder if that one just ruptured, given how poor it did. Had a lot of trouble with this thing rupturing some of the off-brand dart rockets. Dipped a little. Not the most effective, it would seem. Let's test it for just straight up range. I'll just do some lob shots, and then we're going to go upgrade it and see if a little bit more power helps or makes it worse. I'm also going to try a Busby rocket just for fun. Right, realized that doing lob shots in the woods probably would just result in me hitting trees. So we're here in the field next to the range. You can see the markers are right in line with it. I'm standing at where the 0 is, so I'll be able to work out roughly how far they've gone. We'll start with some official Nerf Demolisher rockets. That's not too bad. Oh, that one did not spiral as well. Wonder if the fins on that one are off. Interesting. Also wondering if they're catching on the way out. They look like they clear well enough. That one came out nice. Alright. Let's try the off-brand. Oh! Yeah, I think that one might have a rupture. I'll have to check. Or it might be a little bigger. It definitely felt like it caught. Landed that on another rocket. Oh! That one didn't come out well at all either. I think they might just be a little tight on the post, because that one flew fine. Let me go check those 2 that didn't go far. Right, well, they're not ruptured, so I'm gonna try them again. A little bit better. Flew fine. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know. Alright, I gotta see how far those went. Right, so the max range that they got was 50, the shortest was 25. There was more between 40 and 50 than there were below, so not too bad. Not the greatest. Not the most reliable, but then nobody should be surprised by that at all. All right, let's throw a K25 in here and see if that makes it better or worse. And now with K25. Starting, of course, with the stock rockets. Getting a lot of dropped fast. Okay, that was a decent shot. Oh, dropped like a stone. There we go. Good center shot. Get some off-brand rockets going. Oh, I think that was that one that was having trouble before. There's a good shot. Another one of the tight ones. Oh, yeah. All right. Not seeing a huge performance. I was expecting a bit more zip, hoping that it would get to the target before it started deviating, but I'm not hugely seeing that. Let's check long range and see if we get better results. Right, K25 range test. We got a bit of a crosswind now, so I'll try to compensate for that. We'll see what happens. Huh. Results are sweared. Let's go take a look at them. So the two that were having range issues before are still having range issues, more or less the same. The rest, we actually did have a fairly consistent grouping for Demolisher rockets, really. But the max range is about 5 feet shorter. There you are. Than it was before. So that's weird. Let's go talk about it. Right. Sweareder and swearderer. On the K25, I fired the same rocket through it twice and got 43 both times. I then put the stock spring back in and I got 45 and 46 firing the same rocket twice. So not only is it a much lighter prime and therefore much faster and more comfortable to operate, it does in fact get slightly better performance on the stock spring. And I have no idea why. It might have to do with the efficiency of the spring, it might have to do with air seals getting overloaded or something. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to stick with the stock spring because it's just so much nicer to operate. This thing will hit a man-sized target at 25 feet, which is what I need it to do. I will probably actually be engaging less than that most of the time, but it will do exactly what I wanted it to do, and I'm very pleased with that. So let's talk about the blaster itself. So this is, of course, the Meaker Mk28. The files are available on their Etsy shop for $6. I have no idea if anybody sells the assembled thing, but the files are available there. And it is absolutely worth every penny. I approve of people selling their files that way because it helps with R&D, and especially when it is a design that is this well done, because this is an incredibly well done design, and they did of course make it modular, which I appreciate. It does, you can print out a rocket post, but they also do have then just the bases that are chambered in different pipes that you could then use if you wanted to do something different than a 3D printed post, which I'm definitely going to look into. I want to make one that has half-inch thread so that I can just attach any of Ire's attachments, and I may alter the barrel on that one. I don't know. I did have to alter the barrel on this one slightly. I sliced it to make it a little bit shorter because it was too tall to print on my printer. The amount of material that I removed, I then added to this portion in order to make it so that the barrel was the same length and still covered the rocket the same amount. And that was just a simple matter of stretching and stuff that I could do in my slicer. The more complicated thing that I did, of course, was I added a stock attachment point because I like to be able to have stocks on blasters, especially something like this. So I used the files for the rough cut stock attachment point, the one that sandwiches around the sling mount on the grip and gives you a stock attachment point on your rough cut. Those files are available on Thingiverse. I believe the designer, if I can find the designer, it'll be up here and the link will be in the description. Otherwise, just know that that's where it came from. And then I grafted it on, just again, in my slicer, which many of you who actually know how to 3D design will be beating your head against a keyboard on why I'm doing this kind of complicated stuff on a slicer. But I had to graft it on, and then I had to graft on a lot of material in here to make it actually line up, because this isn't how the back of the Meaker normally looks, of course. But I think it came out acceptable. You may think otherwise, and that's entirely fine. But it will fit a stock beautifully, fits in the hand, stock does not get in the way, doesn't bump or anything. I really, really like how that came out. So that's the modifications that I made to it. Now, before you ask, or if you already have, no, I cannot send you these files. These are Meaker's files, and I do not have the right to give even my altered version to other people. I will reach out to Meaker and see if they would be interested in having these files to include on their shop page so that people could then buy it from them. I'd be happy to give them my version, or they may decide that they want to make their own version and can make it better or what have you, or maybe they just really don't like the idea. I don't know, but I will reach out to them and ask, because I'd love to make this available, but it isn't mine to give. So there you have it. This is my fabulous little Meaker Mk28. I will probably largely run it with a stock on a sling and a bandolier of rockets as a sidearm to most of my loadouts, though if I do decide to run an all-rocket loadout like you have recently seen, this will definitely be a part of that, but it will likely become part of most of my loadouts, especially for our local wars, because rockets do special damage at our wars. So that's my plan. That's the blaster. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching. So that thou shalt not me a liar call. Busby. There he is. As expected, shorter range, better accuracy. What are you gonna do?